Welcome, football fanatics, to Locker Room on VOP TV. I am Jerry Alpelio, and today promises to be a roller coaster ride of football insights and heated debates. And with me in the studio is the astute James alongside Mayowa, who will be joining us virtually, and together we're ready to dive deep into the pulse of the beautiful game of football, from thrilling matches to the controversies shaking up the football world. And of course, welcome, James, on the Locker Room.
A very good evening to you, Jerry, and also to our viewers. Good evening. Yes, we're here again to talk about sports, and let's see. We have seen how the Euros have been developing. Did very well. Shout out to teams that have made it into the last 16, and let's see if they can continue good in such good performance and continue to display what they have been doing all through the tournament.
All right, and of course, welcome, Mayowa. Great to have you once again in the studio with us on Locker Room.
It's always amazing to be here. The Ukrainian group sprang up a surprise. Ukraine with 4 points. They are heading home. They are heading to Kiev. While a team with 3 points will still continue in the tournament. However, I've always said it. I don't think it's a good idea having best loser. Best loser does not make any logical sense to me. If you are not good enough, you should be sent home. The UEFA should rather increase the number of teams that will participate, making it about 32 teams, and you have the first two qualifying. The best one does not make any logical sense to me. But in any case, like I always say, it's a good Thursday to talk sport. Thank you for having me.
All right, and of course, let's start with the biggest controversy right now coming out of Nigeria. Is all about the coaching situation of the biggest football brand in Nigeria, and maybe one of the biggest in Africa. Talking about the Super Eagles. The search for a new coach for the senior national team of Nigeria will reach a whole new height at the end of this month. And of course, that's just this weekend and looking onto next week. Already, the Nigerian Football Federation has received applications from around 15 coaches who are interested in filling the vacuum created by the exit of Ndidi George, who quit his role after a little over a month in charge of the team. Ndidi, who led the team to the World Cup qualifier games against South Africa and Benin Republic, respectively, where they were held to a 1-1 draw and suffered a 1-2 defeat, left his role after the NFF made it clear that they will be bringing an expatriate coach to head the team. His successor is likely to be a foreign coach, but some indigenous coaches have been put in that position in the mix of one. And one of them is Samson, Siasia'S, who will be returning from a coaching ban in September. The team is expected to be back in action. All right, we've talked about Samson Siasia'S. He has visited us at VOP TV, talking about his ban and so on and so forth. And his name continues to pop up. And though the fact that his ban has made him not to be active in football, does it make any sense? He's just returned from a ban and you want to give him a very competitive job like the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Does it make any sense?
At this point, I will not be surprised if eventually he gets hired as a manager. They come and do the same thing like they did with Ndidi, coming out to say it's now our first choice. It's because we don't have money to go for the foreign coach we are coming for Siasia'S. And I think Siasia'S also will also be careful. I think all contract details they'll be given enough to. It will take time to go through the details of his contract before taking the job, because it's not going to be an easy job. He knows it's not going to be an easy job, and Nigerians are quick to throw whoever it is under the bus. And the NFF, with the whole drama that has been playing out all through this year, not just this month, all through this year, I'm thinking Siasia'S just has to be careful if he's going to be taking his job. And we're linked to Renard, and we know how that one how it panned out, and now we are looking at going for Siasia'S. Let's just see if they can do this, if they can make it work, because we are just a month away, less than a month away from the most important. Okay, let's say a month away. Yeah, July. We have the whole of July to prepare for our AFCON qualifiers in August. So let's just see what the NFF can do this time. We know how the drama plays.
All right, we know how the drama plays. Talking about Mayowa, I would like you to react to the talk about Samson Siasia'S. Knowing that he's not been active in football, does it make any sense to be talking about him ahead of the Super Eagles job. And because we made an experiment with Ndidi George, though Ndidi George does not have the experience, the CV that Samson Siasia'S enjoys as far as coaching is concerned. So with that being said, he has also coached the Super Eagles at one point in time. Does it make sense, looking at his ban in comparison to his experience, to rush him back with a very, very competitive job like that of the Super Eagles?
To be honest with you, I think it doesn't make any logical sense. And our viewers can, go on YouTube and watch the interview of Samson Siasia'S with us. I mean, one of the things Samson Siasia'S did in that interview was that he was very careful when he was asked about the coaching job, and that was when the job was posted online, and there were news at that particular point in time that Samson Siasia'S applied and the rest of that. Even bringing up his name at the moment now might even put him in trouble with FIFA. They are not even supposed to be talking about Samson Siasia'S, because I remember vividly when he was with us and during the interview, he was very, very careful about answering the question as regards him throwing in his hat for the Super Eagles job. At the moment, he's still under ban. He's not eligible to participate in football. I hope, the NFF talking about his name will not even put the NFF in trouble and our football in trouble as a whole. That's number one. Number two, we have the African qualifiers start in September, and up to now, we don't have a coach. So if they want to even wait for Siasia'S, because I mean his ban expires last week in August, which means he will be eligible to be able to do anything with football from September. You see that we have to wait for Siasia'S till he finishes his ban. Then we have 2 or 3 weeks to the match, or 1 week to the match. We now said we want to appoint Siasia'S, and we go through this route again. The same thing they did with Ndidi George, appointing Ndidi George 3 weeks to a crucial World Cup game. To be honest with you, I think Samson Siasia'S should be left alone for now. Even when he finished serving his ban, he needs to go and prove himself again with another team, not with Nigeria. I said this yesterday when we were talking about Uche Adepoju. We don't want a trainee coach. Siasia'S has not been involved with football for over 2 years. So the FIFA don't allow him to be involved in football. It means that he's coming back, and if they give him the job, he'll be using Nigeria to experiment. At this point, at this critical point, we don't need anybody to experiment with us. If Samson Siasia'S wants to come back, they can start with him from the age grade competition, or better maybe he tries his hand in club football to get himself properly in shape for coaching before coming to Nigeria. The talk about Samson Siasia'S does not cut it. At this point, we still don't have a coach. We don't have an assistant. We don't even have any coaching crew on ground, and we are supposed to play a qualifier in September. It shows how unserious the NFF are. So at the moment, talking about Siasia'S name should not even surface at all, because I mean, all the indices does not favor him succeeding. We don't want to go through the route of Ndidi George again, whereby he will handle 2 games, and after 2 games, he will be let go. To be honest with you, the NFF should leave Siasia'S alone and focus on coaches that are involved with football, that can really take our football forward at the moment.
This goes to show how unprepared, let me say unprepared our NFF are. Because currently, Siasia'S is still on that ban, and it's not going to be due. It's not due till like end of August, and you have a match in September. Are you expecting to hire him when the first week of September? You're expecting to groom these boys and train them and just make them ready for match as important as qualifying for the World Cup. Let's not forget the matches we have left in these qualifiers. We must win. It's a must win for us, and still hope that the other teams above us still drop points. So you are coming to bring a coach, a man that has not had anything to do with football in the past 2 years, into a very tight angle like this, because it's a tight angle. It's going to take not just the coach is coaching, or whoever is going to be the coach. He's not going to just take what he knows alone to get these boys through. I bring a man that has not been in football scene for the past 2 years, and I give him a very tight and important job as this. I just think the NFF should not be looking at his angle currently, and even if it's going to be, it's not going to be doing justice in coming back into this scene. They should go for a much more experienced coach. And let's not forget, we know Nigerians, if a white man is in charge of the Eagles and we don't qualify for the World Cup qualifiers, the way we are attacking will be less. It's not be as much as the way we attack a black man, a Nigerian man. So imagine Siasia'S takes over the job, and unfortunately, we don't qualify for the World Cup. Just imagine what's going to go on. What Siasia'S is going to face. And let's not forget, It's going to be Pesero. Pesero also lost his, didn't get full point when in his match for the qualifiers. Finidi also didn't get his full point. So it's going to be whoever is going to be in charge at that period towards the end. That is going to be guaranteed, or it's going to be confirmed that we're not making it to the qualifiers, to the World Cup itself. So I just think Finidi, Siasia'S currently should just be left alone in one side. And like Maiwa said, let him start to prove himself again from the age grade, the under 23 on the under 17 again. Then we can look at him for the head coaching job.
All right, and of course, so I'm beginning to ask the big questions, and the fact that the NFF has dissociated itself from media reports making rounds about their interest in having decorated and celebrated foreign coach NFF and Renard, who is set to be free from his role as the coach of the women national team of France in September. So a lot of chess to play as far as the NFF and the minds of Nigerians is concerned. It's now left to see who is going to win. Is it the popularity votes, or is it just going to be a contest of what if, what is? Is this all a gamble again? And with the future of the Super Eagles, that is the big question.
I think the logical thing for the NFF to do now is try to go and convince NFF and Renard to take the job of the Super Eagles. That's like that's somebody that has been in the game. He has done it in African teams. He has done it in the world stages with the Saudi Arabia team. And coming to meet an experienced, no, let me not say an experienced, a young, very good set of boys as this set Super Eagles side that we have currently, I think is like what we need currently. That's the kind of person NFF are supposed to be looking at and trying to convince to come and take over this job. I'm sure it's somebody that I think currently earns about $30,000 at the French side. I'm sure with a little improvement, they can convince this guy. Let's not forget at the point in doing the Persevere reign, it was any more than 50,000, and they were able to convince him. He took a pay cut and he was able to take $50,000. So I'm thinking he's not going to, and NFF is not going to take up to that 50, and he's going to deliver. And let's not forget, NFF Renard is like one of the coaches that are going to have in recent times that has proven himself in different places.
Yeah.
They have not had coaches that have proven themselves in different. He has proven himself in the world stages. He has proven himself in Africa as a competition.
He has proven himself taking a no-rated team to win the AFCON. And take an underachieving team with big names to win the AFCON as well.
So I think he has proven himself. And let's not forget, he was the let me say the mastermind behind the Argentina first loss in the last World Cup.
Yeah.
So I think the kind of CV he has. I think the NFF should
He's the best man for the job.
To focus all their energy on trying to convince him. Even when he don't have the amount he will want to earn as a coach. There's something called negotiation.
The NFF officials should forfeit their salaries. And,
do you think they will do that?
Get him.
They
should forfeit their salaries and all their extra coach.
You know they can't do that.
If they are serious.
They are definitely. You know they are not definitely. Does this NFF look like people that are serious to you?
That's a story for another day.
It always doesn't look like. Let's imagine how long we have been without a coach. We don't have any coaching crew that is assistants. No head coach, no assistants, no free kick, no set piece kick coach. Everything is practically empty. So if they call up for emergency match today now, that okay, Nigerian national team, Super Eagles, come and play match. We'll push Gusawa and this assistant to come and.
There's Salisu Yusuf there. Salisu Yusuf is available.
So it's rather embarrassing. I think the NFF should focus on their energy on NFF Renard.
Don't be surprised. They will call us Salisu Yusuf and say, okay, just handle the qualifiers, African qualifiers.
Wow. Then Salisu Yusuf will put us in the same position we are in at the World Cup qualifiers. Now at the World Cup qualifiers, we are expected to win all our next matches, all our matches remaining. I'm praying that the likes of South Africa and Lesotho drop points so that we can go on top. So it's rather embarrassing.
Okay, Mario, I would like you to react to Muti Adepoju, the former Nigerian international, a member of the country's 1994 African Cup of Nations winning squad, has denied applying for the Super Eagles coaching job. He clarified this in an interview that he has no intention of taking on the role and instead supports the idea of having an indigenous coach leading the team. And it's good he clarified because we don't want to be hearing all this kind of experimental talk.
I think the NFF, they are very skilled in testing the waters. They will test the waters with a news and see how people react to it.
Yes.
Then when they see people are not taking it lightly, they now come back and start saying, start explaining as if they are in the court of law. However, it's very simple. I think anybody that's taking up the Nigerian job right now, any indigenous coach that's taking up the Super Eagles job right now, is setting himself up for failure, and that's just the truth. We saw what they did to Finidi. In as much as Finidi himself didn't help his own case, but trying too fast and too hard to stop his authority instead of steadying the ship before stopping his authority. The NFF board, they've shown that they are not serious. We've been on this coach issue since the end of the Nations Cup. That was middle of February. That's since February 11th, and since then we've not been able to resolve this issue. We've been on this same matter for almost 5 months now, and there is no end in sight. So I think Finidi saying Adepoju coming out to say he has not applied for a job, I think it's a good one distancing himself from the job, because to be honest with you, this is somebody that doesn't have any CV, doesn't have any achievement as a coach. I mean, we know him as a fantastic footballer. We know him as a brand ambassador for La Liga in Nigeria, because I mean, when La Liga is hosting anything, he's always there to speak on behalf of La Liga, based on the fact that he's an ambassador for them. Apart from that, nothing else has been heard about him when it comes to for football, and now to groom the younger ones to grow. So I mean, we cannot use him. There is no way we will have him as our head coach. It will never work. So it's a good one that is distancing himself, and it's also a pointer. It's also a pointer for other local coaches, because at the moment, the Nigerian head coach job is a bad job at the moment, because I mean, if you don't have, if you have a board that is setting you up for failure, there is no way to be able to succeed as a local guy. I think the only person that probably succeed coaching the Super Eagles right now will probably be a foreign coach. And like Jim rightly said, I think the only viable option that has been tested and proven is Renard. Any other person, I don't think they'll be able to cut it. I mean, Renard has been able to prove it. I think he has a way that will be able to steady the ship and get us the result. So it's a good one that Adepoju is coming out to deny the claim. If I were him to, I would also deny the claim. I don't want to be associated with a job that would spoil my activity. To be honest with you,
I'm sure Finidi has not even recovered from what he went through.
Yeah,
and let's not be surprised they have not even paid him the money that he collected. That he's supposed to collect.
The month has not ended yet. Today is 27 or 28.
Federal government workers have time receiving salary. And it's not that federal government. So
calm down.
But Jerry,
yes.
But Jerry, the federal government pays their workers maximum 26.
Yes.
That's when they get paid. So
don't worry, we are monitoring. He has not told us anything yet.
Finidi should have received that lot now.
We have not seen him going to the supermarket to buy anything. So by the time he goes, I will know that when he's doing shopping spree, we know that yes.
At this point, I don't think Finidi will even be seen in any gathering or any social event or outside for a while. Because I'm sure I'm still trying to recover from the whole drama and the whole shock he went through, from coaching the boys to NFF quick to throw him under the bus, to NFF demoting him. I'm not telling him he has been demoted to assistant coach, that somebody will be taking over. So it's rather, I think this NFF drama is just too much. It's just too much.
Wish him all the best.
I think somebody like Renard fits the NFF.
It's
so that they cannot be doing him like a baby, because he has been to different countries in the world.
He knows his
not NFF will now come out. He knows his potential. He knows what he can do as a coach.
Yeah.
He has proven himself. He does not need to prove himself to NFF. So that's the kind of person that NFF needs. So if they try anything, himself will give them what they deserve. So let's just see. And then also they are wise enough to go for something like
if they do anyhow, they will chop up our cuts.
I beg.
All right, let's get away from that. Where everything we're hearing is pushing to secure Wilfred the services of the free transfer, as the Super Eagles midfielder's contract with Leicester City is set to expire at the end of this month. The end of the month is looking like it's 1 year. Every day, end of the month. If any club is interested in it by now, we should have known. But all the linking he's been having, we've heard Barcelona, we've heard Manchester United.
We also heard the likes of is it Southampton, Newcastle
United.
I think everything looks more realistic. Let's be honest. Let's not forget the likes of Ampado Onana might be on his way after the Euros. I'm sure after the Euros, there will be more news about where he might be next year. I've heard about new clubs like Manchester United, Barcelona also in a race for him. So I will not be surprised at the end of the year. Onana is at the end of the Euros. Onana is no longer at Everton. I'm sure they have gotten a suitable replacement for him in the person of Ndidi. So I think the move for Ndidi to the Everton side is actually a realistic one for me.
All right, and of course, Maiwa, a move to Everton on the cards. Or Wilfred Ndidi?
I think I think it's a very good one for him. I mean, unfortunately, he struggled a whole lot last season with Leicester City because of injuries and the rest of that. But one thing I really appreciate with Ndidi was that he was able to improve his game, not like Kelechi Iheanacho, who was not able to do that. He was able to improve his game, and he was very instrumental to Enzo Maresca and Leicester City coming back up to the APL. So, I mean, he still has some quality in him, but I think the clubs he has been able to play in does not do a whole lot of justice to him. I think in as much as, yes, and Everton is in a better standing than in Leicester City, I would have loved to see the Premier maybe even step out of the APL, probably go to clubs outside England, because I don't think any of the big guys want to come for him. If he's able to secure a move to Newcastle, that would be very good. Then he'll be playing with players that are much more talented, players that are much more driven with ambition, and we'll be able to see the best of him. If he's going to an Everton, remember how Everton struggled throughout the season. Yes, barring the point deduction and the rest of that, they still struggled throughout the season, battling relegation before they were able to, to secure, EPL status almost close to the end of the season. So I think as the sun will rise tomorrow, Everton will still struggle in the EPL next season. You cannot, unless by some miracle happening, Everton will probably not finish in the top 6 unless maybe something miraculous happens. Barring the kind of football they play right now, they'll probably be in the 13th, 14th, or 16th position come the end of next season. And I don't think that would do a whole lot of justice to the capability of Ndidi. In as much as a move to Everton would be good for him, I would still love to see him play, in clubs that have a whole lot of ambition, like probably maybe play in the likes of Newcastle, or even a move to Barcelona, because I think he has the quality to be able to feature for those clubs.
All right, definitely we look forward to see where Wilfred Ndidi will be playing his trade as far as next season is concerned. And don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel at VOP TV. And when doing that, we also would like to take your comments under the platform. We like your comments on the talk about Samson Siasi'a linked with the Super Eagles job, and NFF debunking the news that they are interested in having Renard. What's your take on that? Give us your comments. We'll be taking them live as we speak. And definitely we'll also be taking them subsequently when we come back, maybe tomorrow, on Locker Room. Don't also forget to like our page on Facebook, follow us on Twitter as well. Okay, keep the comments coming in as the show progresses. We'll be able to take them. But let's give you this one. Let's talk about the Euros. The draws for the knockout stages have been done, and somehow England remain favorites to be crowned Euro 2024 champions. Yeah, definitely. I know you're laughing, and there you are trying to make a jest of that comment, but it's not coming from me. Despite accumulating just 5 points and scoring just 2 goals during group matches with Serbia, Denmark, and Slovenia, Gareth Southgate's men are handed a 19.12% chance of winning the tournament. The supercomputer clearly knows something we don't, even offering a 38.2% probability of England reaching the final. And prior to the tournament, France were neck and neck with England as favourites. However, after finishing second in their group with an almost identical record to England, the Blues have plummeted in the supercomputer estimations, and you can see that on your screen. We have England, France, Germany, Portugal, Spain, Italy. I think the Germans should be ahead of England, but it's all good. It's all good. It's because England.
The Germans should even be ahead of France. I even feel for. I think the with what has been going on in the Euros, I think if Southgate listens to advice and he listens to corrections, I think going into the knockout stage, he has people on the bench that he could bring into the first team and they will change their style of play and they'll be getting the results. But for France, France has practically utilized what they have on the field and off the field, but they're not still getting the results. I think out to the group stage, they were not able to. The only goal they scored by themselves was the Mbappe's penalty. They were just like own goals, and they were able to qualify. So I think I'm even scared for France going into this competition because I think the best person we have got, the over-reliance on Mbappe is actually, I think it's telling on them currently. So I'm scared for France. I don't think France will be going as far as we thought in this competition because DJ Deschamps has tried what he has on the field, the best 11 on the field. He has brought off the field, and it's not still getting desired results, and they're not putting out convincing performances. I think for the English side, yes, Southgate is a stubborn man. He has refused to listen to.
He has not lost any match.
Yes, he has not lost any match. He has refused to try the people he has on the bench, and he still has a lot of talent on the bench.
2 draws and 1 loss.
2 draws and 1 loss.
And 1 win, I beg your pardon. Sorry.
So I think Southgate still has the talents on the bench that he can bring on the field.
He can learn from what happened in the group stage.
Let's hope he learns because we know he's a very stubborn man. If he does that, then fine. There is hope that English side can go far. But
it's good that the supercomputer is towing the line of you can never say never.
No. At this point, we all said this now. We all said
you can never say. You can still not rule the English team out.
Before the competition started, we already said that this English side has the best talent. English and Portugal. We spoke about France, but as it stands,
Spain as well.
I think Maiwa was the only person that noticed Spain earlier. But after the first 2-3 matches of the competition, I think people are rooting for Spain. But I think one thing that might affect the Spanish side is their inability. They don't have a centre forward. The likes of Morata might not give you what you desire, what you need going into the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the over-reliance on Yamal and Nico Williams. Let's pray they don't have an off game. And once that happens, the result might not come out. So I think I still tip them to go far in the competition. But I think France is one team that will disappoint a lot of people, and also Italy. Italy too. I think you made my choice on that Italy side.
I can never bet against the Azuris.
I'm betting against them
because they will not be going. They are led by an astute coach in Spalletti. True. And I don't want to rule the Azuris out when it comes to any competition until they are out of the door. I don't want to bet.
Let's not forget it was late on what kept them in the competition is late goal they scored late on the
that's the Italian spirit.
Let's just see they can continue that.
It will be dangerous to rule out the Azuris, but the supercomputer says
it's England.
It's Gareth Southgate, the next Manchester United coach team that will go as far as winning the
final. Correct it for me, please.
Winning the competition.
This Liverpool man. but in any case, I think the thing is this: the supercomputer, maybe they got the software from Idumota Under Bridge. Maybe that's where they got the software from. I mean, how do you with what England is displaying? How do you say? Is the supercomputer blind or the software has been corrupted?
The software didn't watch the games you watched.
I mean, when you have a Spanish side that has the best record, that has 100% record, not topping the list, and now they've been able to collect. Even their last game, about 8 of the players were kept on the bench, and they still ended up winning. So I mean, how come we are not talking about Spain? But in any case, like David D will always say, football is like biscuit; it can crack from any angle. There's a particular Greece side that nobody gave the chance to win the Euros in 2004. The odds for them to win was 500 against 1, and they ended up winning the Euros. So I mean, the English side can surprise us. However, if you rate anything based off their performance in the first round, I don't think England should even be in number 5. Probably you can start talking about them from number 6 or number 7 downward. I don't think they've shown enough quality and enough display to be able to be number 1. I mean, their last game, you only have a little bit of fluidity when there were changes later on in the game, and that was when they were a bit fluid, and that's when we're able to see.
I think that's the angle I'm coming from, Maiwa. when you watch the English side, they still have the talent on the bench that can come in and change the game. So you are not ruling those people out.
Yeah.
So if Southgate now,
yes, they have the talent.
if Southgate now is able now, is now wise enough to listen.
No, he has a formula. There's a formula.
No, he does not have this formula.
There's a formula.
This formula.
You guys said you didn't want Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
benched Trent Alexander-Arnold. What result did we get? We got a boring draw. Jude Bellingham who had his worst game so far. Yes. Because he wanted to play what you guys wanted. He brought in Kopama and Kobe Mino and Co. What else did he want? No, now he has to go back to what worked for him in his first game.
When you watch that game, it's obvious the second half was far better than the first half.
Okay.
The second half was better in the likes that he brought the likes of Kobe Mino and also Kopama. These are players that are attacking minded who can break up play.
And what was the result?
They were lucky to get the result.
They couldn't even convert any
when you
goal.
have a midfield of Declan Rice, Conor Gallagher and Jude Bellingham, who is your creator in that midfield? That's the question I keep on asking.
Conor Gallagher, almighty Conor whatever his
Nobody
name
will
is.
call him. Even Chelsea fans will not call him
Nothing
almighty.
to offer.
No, Chelsea fans will not call Gallagher almighty.
And unfortunately, Jude Bellingham has the worst game out of the 3 games.
Funny enough, I think the only time Jude Bellingham has shown in this competition.
Mayo, let's hear you out.
No, definitely, Jude Bellingham will have one of the worst game ever, and that's just simple truth. Because I mean, we are talking about somebody that can create. You bench Alexander-Arnold. You want to bring a Gallagher, and there's a Declan Rice. There's a Gallagher, and you know there's a Jude Bellingham. I expect Jude Bellingham to be creative when he's always dropping back. That's one of the reasons. They needed a ball player. I would have expected him when Kopama came in the second half. You could see the difference. I would have expected him. There's an Cheze, even if I'm still angry with him for choosing England. There's an Cheze who is on the bench, who is a ball player, who can hold the ball, who can dictate the pace of the game, who can decide, who can dictate, who can even give Declan Rice the impetus to even move forward and join the attack and push up what's his name now, a Jude Bellingham to support an Harry Kane. I mean, you decided to bench Alexander-Arnold. You brought in a Conor Gallagher. So the only problem, and the reason why I'm saying the English side should not even be number 1 to number 5 is very simple. The last game we saw the supposed tactical genius of Southgate. Even after people have shouted and the rest of that, you took out Alexander-Arnold. You brought in a Gallagher. Not until when he made another change, that was when we saw the English side play. The first half, it was very boring. There was no direction, nothing. Until he made the changes in the second half, that was when there was a bit of fluidity. So this same guy that I'm looking at is going to revert back to playing Alexander-Arnold because he will say, I've satisfied you guys now, and you know we had a very boring game. And just
yes, he has every reason to bring back Trent Alexander-Arnold.
If he does that, then I'm sorry.
He has every reason to do that. He has every reason to do that because he has tried other options. But the only thing I fault is that the only thing I want to fault Mayowa is that he should be giving Eberechi a start. He should have given him a start in that last game to see his option. And I think there's sentiment in that. In the fact that it looks like Gary Southgate likes to play players he believes in. He knows. If he doesn't have that 100% belief in you, it's difficult to convince him to change his mind on his 30 player. And he doesn't take risks. He doesn't take lots of risks.
He's using his hand to write his sack letter. If he continues to do that,
he has already said this might be his last competition.
If going into the knockouts, if he goes back to Trent Alexander-Arnold against his Slovenia side, then I think he
has a chance.
He still has a chance. But going deeper into the competition, he will not do that. He cannot get such a chance.
Let him go with the formula he believes in. No, it's not like your Finidi that doesn't have formula.
Sorry, the 45 minutes where Kobe Mino and Kopama played was like practically England's best 45 minutes in 3 games they played in the group stages. So I wonder why you go back to go to Trent Alexander-Arnold. If you want to have another,
is Kobe Mino going to play the creative role? That's the question. We are talking about the creative player in that midfield. Okay, take a look at the options. Okay. We only have Eberechi and Trent Alexander-Arnold. If you're Gary Southgate, who would you start? Are you considering Alexander-Arnold as a creative player? Yes, he's playing the creative role. That is what he has been doing. That is what he was put in that first game to be able to distribute the passes up front.
Okay.
That was his role.
If you give Kobe Minor that same role, I'm sure he's going to do it for
Better than
for the
Trent
midfield. Alexander Arnold can only succeed.
No, I'm asking the question.
He's only going to flourish when he replaces Skywalker.
Is he going to be better than
in
Trent
the midfield?
Alexander?
Yes. Because
that is what I want.
One is when you are trying to convert another one. You are trying to convert another one.
That is what I want.
I don't think he was going
to get correctly. Okay, thank you very much.
Minor is going to give you much more in the
than
midfield.
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yes.
All right. Okay, as a creative midfielder. Mayo, I don't know.
How will you?
James is the new coach of England. He has given us his formula. Mayo, what's your formula? I don't know.
No, but it's very simple. I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold cannot flourish as a midfielder. We have seen it. A whole lot of ex-international who have played the game in and out, they've said the same thing. It's very clear for everybody to see. Trent Alexander-Arnold is not as creative as Southgate wants him to be. Jerry, you mentioned something the other time that Southgate only plays the player he believes in 100%. It now begs the question, why did you select players that you don't trust 100% to follow you to the competition? It doesn't
sentiment. In England, we know there are a lot of sentiment that comes into selection of players too.
That's the question. Because that means you are picking players based on sentiment. No right-thinking coach will ever drop, will ever limit his option in the midfield and bring a Trent Alexander-Arnold as the mainstay of the midfield. It's not possible. We have seen the result. Okay,
Jude Bellingham. What about the last? People are talking about Trent Alexander.
We know.
Why has Jude Bellingham not step up the kind of performance? We show that Real Madrid for England.
Let me answer.
That's the question.
To be realistic, Southgate knows putting Jude Bellingham on the bench is going to affect him. If it puts Bellingham on the bench and it does not work out for him, they are gunning for him directly. So yes, leave the Jude Bellingham. But
did you see the trend immediately after the England game? I think what was the trend? Something Telegram was trending on Twitter. Was it the day after England played that draw?
Yeah,
they were calling him.
That's I think I know where the angle they are coming from.
They were calling for the head of Jude Bellingham.
Yes.
The English fans were not happy with his performance. So he has every reason to now say if he wants to step Jude Bellingham aside and bring in fresh blood in that midfield.
I will not even blame Jude Bellingham currently because you're giving him the role that will favour the match Real Madrid. Let's not forget, Real Madrid is a much more better side than this English side. A team that has been properly managed by a smart and wise coach as Ancelotti. He flourished in that particular role. And let's not forget, the Real Madrid side didn't have a consistent striker all through the season. So, Bellingham was practically maintaining the forward and also the midfield role. And it was working well for him. But now in the English national team, you have a very good striker as Harry Kane. So what's stopping you from pushing Bellingham back to central midfield and have a creative midfield that will create chances for Harry Kane? Imagine a player like Harry Kane throughout the whole 90 minutes of the last match they played. He got serviced the ball just once.
All right, let's go to the team of the round, talking about the group stage, and it's interesting to know that it's the highest goal scorer so far. It's not Harry Kane, it's not Lewandowski, it's not Kylian Mbappe, it's not
his own goals.
It's not let me say other big names in that lineup. It's one certain player who plays for Georgia, and his name suddenly will give us some bit of issues. His name is Mikhail Tadze. He plays for the Georgian national team alongside Lamine Yamal, who has been awesome for Spain as well. Mikhail Tadze has 3 goals in this competition. There's also Jamal Musiala, fantastic talent. He has also got a goal and assist in this competition for talking about the German national team. There's Sabitzer, the Manchester United rejects.
I think Sabitzer
awesome.
He's doing a very good job for Austria. And the way him and Ragnick are also combining and lifting the spirit of these boys. Let's not forget he scored in the last game also. I think him being in that team is actually a good one for him.
And there's a certain Fabian, the Spanish midfielder, fantastic player as well.
Ruiz, wow.
Fabian Ruiz
I think he's doing very well for the Spanish national team.
And this Slovakian player, Lobotka, is also doing very well for himself there. And of course, N'Golo Kante, the man is everywhere for France. He's been awesome. He's the best player for the French national team at the moment, and well deserved to be one. I'd say.
I think he's the only one that deserves to do well in all the French national team, because The rest are underperforming. For me, the rest are underperforming.
Well,
The over-reliance on Kylian Mbappe is going to affect that team. And I'm going to say it. I'm still going to say the over-reliance on Kylian Mbappe is affecting that team.
All right, there's also Cucurella making the third Spanish player in that team. Cucurella is one player I've not rated, but at these Euros, yes, it's something else.
I think most people,
I give him his flowers.
Gary Neville was even gunning for him. That was Cucurella doing in national team.
He's giving him his flowers.
And now I think he saw that post and he's taking it personal and he's doing very, very, very well.
Yes, and there's also Calafiori talking about the Italian. And he has been linked to Liverpool as well.
I've seen. I think I've seen him two or three of his games, and he did very, very well for the Italian side. I don't even know the club side he plays. I think I'm seeing him. I watch him.
This is the first time. Is it Bologna in the Italian Serie A?
I've seen him, and he did very, very well. I think against there was a game he scored an own goal. He mistakenly an own goal. Even in that game, he had a good performance, and I think he's a very good defender that he seems to be looking at. And he coordinates the team very well.
And some of those who are familiar with Dragusin, the Romanian defender, has also been awesome for the Romanians in this Euros. And of course, the goalkeepers who have played one of the most shots, the Georgian goalkeeper. His name is Mama Dashvili, and he's been awesome. I think those shots has brought out the best. The quality he has, Maiwa.
Over 20 shots. That guy is fantastic. He single-handedly, took the Georgians,
dragged them. He didn't take them. He dragged them.
The last game that they draw.
He dragged them. That we must leave here.
I mean, is it the last game that they had only one shot on target? I think the second game that they played, he faced over 12 shots, and they could not get past him. I mean, he has been a rock for them. And if Georgia will go very, very far in this competition, I think it will be because of the guy. Because the Georgians, I mean, they are under a lot of pressure all the time, but they have a rock at the back that is always saving them. Kudos to the guy. I won't be surprised if top clubs in Europe are coming for him because he has put in the performance. To be honest with you,
I think Georgia will go for it. They are playing Spain in the next round.
Yeah, they can actually frustrate Spain and go to the penalties and win that one. Yeah, they can do that. They have what it takes. They have a standard goalkeeper and their defense.
I want to hear you.
I'll be the first one to call it. I called it during the World Cup. I said Argentina will win. So let me call it now. Spain will win Euros this year. So I'm calling it now.
But they have to. Mama Dashvili is there. You have to be wary of that.
It doesn't really matter. They will win. They will win.
Okay. If they get to penalties, anything can happen.
They win the Euros this year.
I think the Spanish side have a very, very balanced team. They have a balanced team, but the absence of the centre forward, we cannot rely. We already know they cannot rely on Morata.
Absence of the centre forward against one of the best goalkeepers so far.
They have two of the sharpest wingers in the tournament. Okay. Nico Williams and also Yamal.
Nico Williams is not clinical. That's one thing about him.
I think the Spanish side is one thing that they have the midfield, they have the defense. The only thing that will be the problem is the centre forward.
And they might underrate the Georgians. That's another thing.
They made it to the knockout stage. So if they mistakenly underrate
the Georgians.
I'm sure they will be surprised what happens to them.
And they have their highest goal scorer so far in the tournament. He has 3 goals.
Yeah.
And they have to give it to him. Okay, let's take some comments on right now. This one is on YouTube. We appreciate your comments. Keep them coming. And tell us where you are dropping your comment from. And this one is from Olugbenga Bamidele. It seems like he's monitoring the COSAFA Cup. He monitored the game between Zimbabwe and Comoros. And that game ended in favor of Zimbabwe. They won that game by 0-0. And the interesting thing he said is that the Zimbabwe captain, talking about his promise to beat the Eagles in Uyo in March 2025. I think he should wait. It's not his fault.
It's not his fault now.
Yes.
We are one. He said that they are changing coach every day. Like we are playing and we are losing against Benin Republic.
That shows that the guy is ambitious ahead of that.
So at this point, we just have to wait and see. We just have to wait, and I will not be surprised if they beat us. Because if the NFF continue with their drama,
they'll come to you, Zimbabwe, and come to you. Whoever the coach is, he should run. After the final whistle.
Jerry, I will not blame the guy that is saying that. There's an adage in Yoruba, almost meaning that it's because of our carelessness. That's why somebody from Zimbabwe, I know disrespect to the Zimbabwean team, that's why somebody from Zimbabwe will come and be saying that, I mean, Benin Republic is beating us. Well, I mean, if Benin Republic can do it, why not Zimbabwe? And that's the reason why. But if you wait till that time, probably maybe we'll show them Shege. Maybe.
All right, let's wait till that time. Okay, let's take some outside news if we have time. Manchester United want to add Renard, the manager of Dutch club side, Go Ahead Eagles. I beg your pardon, Go Ahead Eagles to Erik ten Hag's backroom staff. United are hoping to bring in Hag, who's 52, as well as Ruud van Nistelrooy as senior coaches in a move that will raise questions over the futures of ten Hag's current assistant coaches, talking about Michel van de Gaag and Steve McLaren. And Hag has a similar background to ten Hag, having been brought up in the east of Holland. Okay, a lot of shake-up in the backroom staff.
I think it's much needed, and I'm so happy that are taking this right. Ratcliffe and his team are taking this right move, trying to fix the problem from the top, so and come to the grassroots. I think after the overhaul of the management, the coaching crew, the transfer teams, I think they will now focus on getting players, and I love this move from them. Getting two very good coaches. Let's not forget, Ruud van Nistelrooy led the PSV side to the title. I try to remember. Yeah. And also Go Ahead Eagles has been a team that has been middle of the table all in his time at the team. So I think bringing two good coaches who have done very well in the past and adding that into our team. And let's not forget Ruud van Nistelrooy, a very clinical striker. Our strikers, our attackers, we need somebody like that.
Rashford will learn something.
If he's still at the club, because I'm hearing he might be on this way. So I'm sure with the likes of Rasmus and also Garnacho in the team, I'm sure they can learn a lot from somebody like that.
Marwa, we don't have time. Your party short on this one before we leave.
Well, I think it's a good one. Steve McLaren has become ancient of days in Manchester United. He worked under Alex Ferguson, worked under almost all the coaches that came after Alex Ferguson. I think it's time for him to go. He doesn't offer a whole lot to the coaching crew. So it's a good one bringing Van Nistelrooy and the go-ahead guy. I mean, we need somebody that will be able to improve our strikers and how we play football. So it's a good one bringing those guys in, to be honest with you.
Going on there, but we'll leave you to go and enjoy yourself. Hopefully we'll have you tomorrow on Locker
Room. It's always amazing to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
All right, of course. James, you want to go enjoy while you are at home?
I'll go and join you very soon. It's nice to be here, and the lesson tomorrow we are here to talk more about football, and let's see how it all develops.
All right, I don't know whether the backroom guys talking about Shegu and Sam, as well as Jerry and Ikechukwu. Maybe you all find your way down to my wife's place because it's dinner time.
You want to finish this? You want to finish my wife's food? Those boys can eat too. Those boys love food though.
It's been a pleasure being a part.
Not making noise.
It's been a pleasure having you guys on Locker Room. Make sure you stick with us. Continue to enjoy our platform. Follow us on Twitter. Make sure you do that as well. Like our page on Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube at VOP TV Live. My name is Jerry Apelai. Until we meet again, stay safe. And if you're not doing anything at all, do it the sport way.